this video, we are going to talk about special right triangles. In my classroom, I have two triangular rulers like this shape. And one is called 45, 90 degrees special right triangle. 45, 90 degrees special right triangle. And the other is sharpest part, that is 30 degree, okay? And the other part is twice of 30 degree. 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and here 90 degrees. So this one has name 30, 60, 90 degrees special right triangle, okay? So what's so special about this? And this is a half of a square shape. Half of a square shape. You see it? And this is a half of equilateral triangle. If I have one more here, I can make an equilateral triangle, 60, 60, 60 degrees, right? So that's special, and the ratio is always same. What do I mean ratio? That's right, trig ratios, trigonometric ratios. So we can memorize this as a formula. Formula is like this. If this is a half of a square size, this part is same as this part. So the simplest ratio is 1 and 1. Means if I have 10 here, the other will be 10 here. So it's a square, okay? And square, this hypotenuse is always longer than each side, and it is root 2 times longer from Pythagorean theorem. Square the number 1. Square the number 1. Add them 2, right? Take square root on it, root 2. So it's a right triangle and special right triangle. Even we can apply the Pythagorean theorem. So it is number 1, 1, root 2. You must memorize this, okay? 1, 1, root 2. Next one. If we go with the shortest length as 1, and the longest is twice all the time. Shortest 1, longest twice. And the middle one is root 3 times longer than the shortest one. So ratio is 1 to root 3 or 1 root 3, 2, okay? And I always say 1, 2, 3 with the head, okay? Which is longer, 2 or root 3? Root 3 is about 1.7. So it's shorter than 2. 2, it means root 4. So root 4 is greater than root 3. Can I check Pythagorean theorem? Sure. Square it, square it, square it. 3 and 1 makes 4, right? A squared plus b squared is c squared. So we can check, wow, it is satisfying, right? So this is also Pythagorean theorem satisfied on this. So that is special right triangle. We need to memorize it. So let's do some easy questions first. Number 3. If this is 7, what is the other length? Is that 45, 45, 90 degree triangle? Yes, right? So what's the ratio? 1, 1, root 2. So what's the answer for number x here? X. Obviously, that is 7 because it's a square. Half of the square, right? This is hypotenuse of this special right triangle. In other words, it is a diagonal of a square. Diagonal of a square is always root 2 times longer. So y will be 7 root 2. That's it. Nothing to calculate. 7 root 2. That's the answer. So when you take the ratio in the simplest form, ratios are same. 1, 1 root 2. 1, 1 root 2. Small or big or similar triangles, similar right triangles has same trigonometric ratio. That's why we are learning trig ratio in a right triangle, okay? Now let's see. Number one look different. So let's try number one. Number one, what kind of triangle is this? That's right. This is 30, 60, 90 degrees. Special right triangle. What's the ratio? Shortest one, 1. Longest hypotenuse, twice. And the third side, root 3 times. Okay? From the shortest. So what is shortest? Here, 8. What is the longest then? Twice. 8 times 2 makes 16. So what will be the third side here? This leg is root 3 times longer than 8. So this will be 8 root 3. Make sense? Would you like to try number 2 with me? Number 2 is a little tricky. X and Y are congruent to each other. So X and Y are same number, right? So what is that? That's what we are looking for. What is this shape? Half of a square. Do you see that? Half of a square. In other words, isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle has same base angles. So this is 90 degrees. Subtract 180 minus 90. That's 90. Divide equally. 45, 45. So this one has ratio. Ratio is like this. 1, 1, root 2, right? So I have ratio 1 and root 2. 1 and root 2. 1 and root 2. And I need to set it up with x and number 10. X and number 10. So corresponding parts, you set up the ratio, proportionality, and then you can find the answer. Cross multiply. So root 2 times x is going to be 1 times 10, 10. So you are going to divide by root 2. Okay, so we rationalize the denominator. So 10 root 2. I don't want root 2 in the denominator. So let's rationalize the denominator by multiplying root 2 on the numerator and denominator. And I'm going to have 10 root 2 on the numerator. And root 2 times root 2 is just number 2. So we don't have any longer the square root in the denominator. That's rationalizing the denominator. Okay, now let's reduce it. 2 times 5, right? So answer will be 5 root 2. So if you multiply 5 root 2 times root 2, what do I get? 10. So diagonal is root 2 times longer on it. Okay, so we can verify that. So this number 2 was a little tricky because we cannot see the multiple quickly because of the irrationals. Then you must set up the proportionality and solve the equation to find the answer. So that was number 2.